Hello, welcome back for the final part. For me personally, finding the truth and uncovering a mystery and checking different sources is so part of me at the core that like an itch you can't scratch. It leaves me restless. I need to get to the truth. So I found this gem on Al Jazeera. It's the AI investigation of the 7th of October 2023 attack. And on the 20th of March 2024, when it was aired. So this might have to be in two parts, but see, this is the second bit, but see what you think about what they're saying here. Mhm.
In part one, we revealed how Israeli hostages were fired on by Apache helicopters and tanks. The scale of destruction on October 7 suggests these may not have been isolated incidents.
All the footage I've seen of the Hamas assault across the border, across the fence into the kibbutzes, they're pretty much only armed with light weapons. This is RPGs, so rocket-propelled grenades and personal sidearms. This is taken from the inside of a house. 2 holes in the wall here. I would say probably by some sort of heavy weapon fired against the house, most probably a tank. There's nowhere an RPG would make that sort of damage. There's catastrophic structural damage to many of these buildings. This can only have happened by heavy weapon systems being used against the kibbutz itself.
The I-Unit calculates that 1,154 Israelis and foreign nationals are killed on October 7 and in the days immediately afterwards. Of these, 256 are soldiers. 53 belong to the police and other security forces, and 63 are civilian security guards. The remaining 782 victims are unarmed. The I-Unit's list of the dead reveals that at least 18 are killed by Israeli ground troops. A number of other bodies are recovered from beneath rubble who died in circumstances that are unclear. In the days following October 7, journalists are shown around the kibbutzim by the Israeli army.
This is something that monsters do, not humans.
Hamas fighters and others committed crimes on October 7. The Israeli media, however, focuses not on the crimes they committed, but on crimes they did not.
I'm talking to some of the soldiers and they say what they've witnessed as they've been walking through these different houses, these different communities, babies, their heads cut off. That's what they said. No one could expect that it would be like this. The horrors that I'm hearing from these soldiers. As I mentioned earlier, about 40 babies at least were taken out on gurneys.
The I-Unit's list of the dead shows no babies were killed in Kfar Aza, the kibbutz this report came from. A senior Israeli military officer later speaks to journalists in front of a burnt-out house in Kibbutz Be'eri. It's the house where 12 hostages appear to have been killed during the assault by the Israeli police and army.
Inside this house were another 15 burned people, among them 8 babies in this one. They were concentrated them, and they killed them, and they burned them.
Did you see?
I evacuated.
The list of the dead shows that there were no babies in the house. And Colonel Vach does not tell journalists that the casualties are almost certainly caused by Israeli forces. 2 days later, the regional head of Zaka, a voluntary organization charged with collecting bodies, gives a different account to Sky News of what happened at the same house.
And you're talking children, 2 piles of 10 children each were tied to the back, burned to death. This is something behind, this is next level. And
I mean, it's actually indescribable. It's indescribable.
It's indescribable, and I won't describe everything that I saw.
This account is repeated by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a conversation with President Biden.
They took dozens of children, bound them up, burned them, and executed them.
The list of the dead shows 2 12-year-old twins are killed when police and army stormed the house in Be'eri. But there are no other children.
There was an interview we did with Sky Television from Britain. 2 piles, we found them in Be'eri. 2 piles of 10 children each were tied back to back and burned to death. Now again, I mean, if we look at the death figures at Be'eri, there are only 10 children that died at Be'eri.
Well, not children, it's 18-year-old, so we all together, when you look at them and they're burned, you don't know exactly the ages.
It is not the only questionable story that Yossi Landau tells about Kibbutz Be'eri.
We go further. Then we see a woman. She was lying on the floor, a puddle of blood, big puddle of blood. She was a pregnant woman. Her stomach was butchered open. The baby that was connected to the cord was stabbed, and she was shot in the back.
Kibbutz Be'eri has denied this account.
The story of the pregnant woman reported by Zaka is not relevant to Be'eri.
Yossi Landau insists he witnessed this scene at Be'eri.
If you want to see the picture, I have the picture of it.
Are you able to share the photographic evidence with us?
To show you. Yes. Where's my phone? Oh, sorry. I will not put it in front of the camera.
No, that's fine. I'll come and look.
This is the knife they used.
Killed, but
Over here was the woman.
But that's the imagery after the bodies had been cleared away. Oh.
Yes. This is the baby. This is it.
I'm sorry to be graphic here, but I can't see a baby here.
You can't see the baby but this is the picture of the mother.
Okay.
For sure, you know, we didn't think when we were over there, we didn't think to camera everything. We didn't have that. This wasn't in our...
The photo shows an unidentifiable piece of charred flesh. The list of the dead contains no victim that fits Yossi Landau's description. On October 7th, 2 babies die. One is killed when a bullet is fired through a door. The other dies following an emergency cesarean after the mother is shot. Neither is burned or beheaded.
When you're taking babies, cutting them and tying them together and burning them to death, you're treating them less than an animal.
1,300 people dead, murdered, babies.
these bastards put these babies in an oven and put on the oven. We found the kid a few hours later.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken describes the fate of 2 small children.
Family of 4, a young boy and girl, 6 and 8 years old, and their parents around the breakfast table. The father, his eye gouged out in front of his kids. The mother's breast cut off. The girl's foot amputated. The boy's fingers cut off before they were executed. And then their executioners sat down and had a meal. That's what this society is dealing with.
This story also comes from Yossi Landau and Zaka. An analysis of the evidence suggests that it is also untrue. Of the 782 unarmed victims of October 7, 36 are children, 13 under the age of 12. None died in the circumstances described by Anthony Blinken. Media analyst Mark Owen Jones tracks the spread of such stories on the internet. He believes they serve a purpose.
So how, as Israel, do you create that balance in sort of saying, well, what we're doing is morally right, even though we're killing way more people? Well, you have to emphasize the brutality, because you can't say, well, we've killed less than Hamas. So how do you do it? Well, you try to make the significance of those individual deaths even more disgusting and objectionable.
In December, Benjamin Netanyahu meets with Zaka volunteers and thanks them for speaking to the world's press.
אבל אנחנו צריכים לקנות זמן. זמן אנחנו קונים על ידי פנייה גם למנהיגים וגם לדעת הקהל. ויש לכם חלק חשוב בהשפעה על דעת הקהל שמשפיע גם על מנהיגים.
It's not just stories of murdered babies and children that are open to question. Israel's had
Unfortunately, too many, willingly or not, have been suckered by lies. And damn lies. It never happened. Or to demonise genocidal policies against the people who deserve their own state and have every right to be where they are. I mean, this makes me want to be sick, because they're knowingly doing this. And like I mentioned earlier about the US ambassador to Israel, they soon associate with the horrific Holocaust. But one genocide doesn't justify another one. We should rise above such primal hatred and dislike, or you're going to get a repeating cycle of hatred. They call it radicalisation. What, when children are dying in 2-day-old babies are dying because there's no electricity, when young kids are left isolated in ambulances, and the rescuers are prevented from going near, so they die. We must expose this, especially considering it's supposed to be one of our firmest allies, because if not, we're going to be associated with such behaviour. It's going to leave stains that will never wash away. Anyway, that's the end of Weekly News Awareness, and this will carry on into next week. All right, take care, everybody, for a better world. Bye.